It's been a month of triumph and disaster, highs and lows. Here's what I've been up to on Chandwell in June. So June was a month of highs. I finished the viaduct. I launched a new series based on Inkscape, which has been well received. It was also a month of disasters. I broke a point. It needed fully replacing on the viaduct in one of the most awkward places. I managed to get varnish all mucked up on my viaduct, and I realised that my matte varnish wasn't actually matte. So here's a look at what I've been doing in June. This is Chandwell, where I'm scratch building a city viaduct layout in N Gauge. If you want to follow along, please subscribe. So I think the highlight of the month was the completion of the viaduct. I did a video on that and it's linked just up there if you want to watch it. So we now have an unbroken run from the station down the cobbled back street and then past the arches. From there we cross the high street and then start descending towards the road that goes underneath the wide skew arch. Once we've passed the road, we end up at the river and its wide iron girder bridge. From there we ascend across Charlotte Road and eventually over to the tunnels. That's taken 7 months and I'm really pleased that it's finished. Up until now, nearly all of the stock on Chandwell has been ancient Graham Farish locos that I got when I was a teenager, this class 47 being an example. So I was really pleased to eventually get a new addition to the fleet, this class 47 here, which I got from TMC with weathering as well, so it looks fantastic. Here's a little bit more about it. This is the first new arrival on Chandwell since I started the channel. It's the second class 47. The first being a large logo blue one, which I got as a 15th birthday present, and that's almost 30 years ago, so things have changed somewhat since then. The detail on this one is absolutely stunning, and the weathering by TMC really sets it apart, and it doesn't half fit in with the grimy urban look that I'm aiming for on Chandwell. Comparing it to the old one, with its broken buffers, ham-fisted brown paint teenage weathering attempts and huge pizza cutter wheels, I think it is a great addition to Chandwell. I ended up breaking a point. Don't know how I did it, maybe I was cleaning it too vigorously or something, but anyway it was broken and I couldn't fix it, so I had to rip the whole thing out and put it back down again. So my son and I were having a play, partaking in a serious operating session, when we realised that one of the points wasn't working properly. One of the blades had come out of the tie bar, and then in trying to clip it back in, the other one came out as well, so I managed to make it worse. I've got no idea how these are meant to go in, or rather I do. I can see the way that they need to twist, but I couldn't work out how to twist them without the whole thing breaking. So I actually tried for a good 20 minutes, and every time I tried the little hole got bigger and I got more and more cross with the whole thing. So in the end there was nothing for it. I had to order a new one, pull it out and reinsert it. Thankfully the point hadn't been ballasted yet, so it was fairly simple to snip through the plastic insulated rail joiners, pull it out and push a new one in. I couldn't use joiners, so I just had to hold it in the right position and glue it into place. Once I'd done that, I needed to get the little ends of the wires soldered to the foot of the points and then gently move it around into the right place. It wasn't the best job, and it's not my strong point, laying track, but you know, the loco went over it and it seems to be okay, so disaster averted, but I'm still annoyed with the fact that it broke, and I'm not very pleased with how good the track is in this part of the layout, but it's all about the building for me and it seems to be okay, so I'm happy enough with it. Something else that didn't go perfectly well in June was it started to dawn on me that the varnish I've been using for the entire layout isn't truly matte. Now the lights underneath here aren't perfect, they shine more at the back than at the front just because of the layout of the room, which means it's a little bit backlit. As I started getting the viaduct further and further this way, the insides of the arches were shining a little bit more than they were around this side. So I've always used Humbrol matte coat. It's an enamel varnish, and I've always used it because I thought using an acrylic varnish on top of the print might cause the print to lose some of its sharpness. And because I'm always paranoid about the ballast water causing the card to warp, I thought it was the right thing to do. But as you can see in these images here, although it says it's matte, it's not actually matte. It's satin at best and gloss at worst. And I'm not the only person that's had trouble with this Humbrol matte, I don't think. Some bottles seem to be better than others. One of the little buildings I made up here and covered in this is almost fully matte. Some of these others are fully matte, but some of them are kind of shiny. So I've done a little bit of experimentation and I've managed to find this product here. It's AK Interactive Ultra Matte Varnish, and this is absolutely fantastic. It's acrylic, it's gone on really well. It's actually gone on top of the enamel varnish as well, and it's really matted down. These arches here are perfectly matte. I'm really pleased with them. And if you remember from the previous video, I also mucked up the varnishing round here. That was using that enamel varnish as well, so I'm hoping that this is going to be fine. I've got an abandoned version of the bridge I've been working on just to see how this varnish goes straight on top of the prints. It seems to have gone on quite well. I've used the matte rather than the ultra matte first, just as a base coat, simply because I ordered that by mistake, so I might as well use it. So I've put a couple of coats on that and it's looking good, so I'm quite confident that I've now got the right choice of matte. I'm not going to touch the viaduct. The viaduct is okay. I think if I start re-varnishing the whole thing, it's going to cause trouble, so I think it's going to be fine. There's no natural light in this room anyway, so I don't think I'm protecting it from much. I just feel better with a couple of coats of varnish on there. So that was that. Some of these are still quite shiny inside. I'm going to live with it, but from now on I'll be using this AK Interactive Ultra Matte Varnish on everything that I do. I think it seems to be good. So that is the varnishing wars of June. Also in June, I made a start on this bridge. There's going to be a river underneath the iron girder bridge, and there's going to be a road coming through the wider skew arch. So where they meet, I need to get the road over the river. It's a bit of a challenging build because the bridge leaves the baseboard at a 45-degree angle, so I've had to work out quite carefully how to get this arch to work. I'm pleased with how it's coming on. Watch out for a future video and you'll see how I finish it. As you know, I scratch build most of my buildings on Chandwell out of card, and I use the free open source application Inkscape to help me do that. I've had quite a bit of interest in the comments of my videos asking a bit more about Inkscape, so I decided to start a series all about how I do the scratch building with Inkscape. I made the first episode of that last week, and I'm really pleased with the response that that's got, so thank you to the people who commented on that and have asked me further questions. I will be replying to all of your questions in my next video, so if you do have any questions about Inkscape, if there's anything you'd like to see how I do with Inkscape, please put a question in the comments below and I'll answer it in my next video. I was quite pleased with the title introduction to that series, where I showed from the first clicks to the completion of the Iron Arch Bridge. So if you haven't seen that, here's a quick look now. And that's it for June. It's been a good month on the whole. Really impressed with this Class 47 that's finally arrived on my layout. I'm really pleased that I've finished the viaduct. I'm disappointed that I broke the point and couldn't fix it. It's always frustrating when something like that happens. And I'm a little bit annoyed with some of the mistakes that I made on these arches. But on the whole, it's been great. I'm really pleased with how this bridge is coming out. It looks quite a lot like the prototype. And I'm quite pleased with the response to my Inkscape video. So I'm really pleased with that. So thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this and if you want to continue watching the evolution of Chandwell, please press the Class 47 logo just there and subscribe. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.